So can you outside leg if you can't invert yet? Yes, there is a way that you can get into it using two tricks that we call at our studio an ice skater and a showgirl. So for reference, what we call an ice skater at our studio is like a back hook with the front leg behind. So in the air, it looks something like this. What we call a showgirl is the beginner version of a half star, or some places will even call it just a Gemini. So how we get into it when we're teaching our beginners is a nice high inside leg hook. This becomes an outside leg when you go upside down, hands on, behind, and then we are here. Okay, I could turn that into an outside leg by folding down and out and just keeping that leg hooked on. But when you're learning it from the floor, don't try turning it into an outside leg because you are way too close to the ground. When you get up to doing this in the air, that's when your instructor will teach you how to turn that showgirl into an outside leg, but don't do it from the ground, you're too close. Especially if you don't have a crash mat or anyone spotting you, okay? Just don't. So, two different things to learn there. The first is the showgirl. With our showgirl, we're gonna learn it from the ground and we're gonna learn it with our forearm grip on. Because when you're in the air and you're going into your ice skater, ideally you've got that forearm grip, and I always do that because you want your hand at chin height. So hand at chin height, elbow across the pole. So you can see I've got my thumb and my elbow on the same side of the pole. If I'm like this, I'm gonna get no push and it's useless. So hand always at chin height and arm on the pole. And this is the grip I'm gonna use to push the pole away. My top hand is just up nice and high. And when I can push like this, not only can I push away really easy, I can also push my body out to the side, okay? Because I want to push away like this. There's quite a few different ways to get into an ice skater, and you might see people use different grips and you'll probably get taught a different grip, but I'm just going to teach the forearm entrance because I think that it is very underutilized, and I really like it because you can create a lot of distance between yourself and the pole. And with that extra distance that you have opposed to doing this, you can aim the back of your knee a lot better, and you can also put your knee up higher and put it wherever you want. So with this forearm, I can push away, do my ice skater, and then bring it into my armpit hook nice and low. Or like what we want to do, I could push away, hook, bring my leg up high and squeeze, and then go into my showgirl. So that's what we're about to do on the ground. I'm gonna put my forearm on the pole. I'm gonna push away. We're gonna pretend we're doing this in the air. So if you're in the air, this would be a pencil and a push. Same leg as an elbow goes on for the same reasons I said before. If I swap my hands around and I try and hook my right leg and I have my left elbow on, when I push, I'm gonna get all twisted and it's not gonna be the same as creating that distance. Okay, so let's go, just for the sake of the video, inside arm is my right arm, outside arm is my left. I've just pretending I'm doing a climb, and then I'm gonna push away, drop into a pencil. From my pencil, I'm gonna pretend I'm doing a little quarter turn with my hips in the air. So I'm pushing the pole away, quarter turning as much as I can. What's now my inside leg is gonna go hook on, back of knee on the pole. I'm gonna try and hook it as high as I possibly can. Okay, so when I hook it high so I don't lose too much height, especially if you're on a shorter pole. Hook it high, straight, bend. I wanna get it into the back of my knee as much as possible. So push out and on. Let's just keep that in mind for now, and let's go into our showgirl. And I'm just going to change the arms so it's a little bit easier to learn. So when we're doing it on the ground, we're obviously going to lose a lot of height very quickly if we did that entrance from the floor. So instead, I'm going to do everything possible to start with your knee as high off the ground as possible so that we can not be lying on the ground at the end of the trick. My inside leg is going to be hooking as high as it possibly goes. Hand about head height, staying nice and close to your pole to get your leg up really high. You're going to lean away, bring this leg up, and as you bring this leg up, I want you to push your hips back just a little. So bring it up, hook, hips go back, leg is straight. So I'm in like a big straddle, it's hard to hold. I'm going to bend, and then when I bend, I'm squeezing my heel to my butt. So I should have a really good grip here. Okay, both hands on. I'm going to take the outside leg behind the pole. Actually, I'll do a little bit of spin. All right, outside leg behind the pole. And then from here, I can slide it down into a half star, or I can slide it down into what else do we call a Gemini if I was up higher. To get down when you're on the floor, one hand down, one leg down. This is important because this leg is really gripped. Don't try and just slide it down because it will hurt, especially if you're a beginner. So when you're on the floor, just kick that leg off. Okay, let's do that one more time. A little bit more speed, so you don't have to listen to me talk as much. So hand up about head height, nice and close to the pole. Always start on your toes for everything. I'm going to lean away. I'm going to hook this leg on as high as possible. Straight, then bend. So straight, bend. Get it in the back of the knee pit. Both hands on. Slight push backwards, not too quick because you'll spin fast. If you're on a spin pole, leg comes behind. To do your showgirl, bottom hand comes to a pistol grip, and then knees are squeezing together. Top hand back on to come off. Foot down, hand down, and kick the pole off. Okay. And then just last part of the video. If you were going to put all those together in the air, you would need to practice separately your forearm grip pencil spin, your ice skater, so pushing into the to your side and hooking the leg on, and then making sure that leg is hooked on really well and sliding down. So I'm going to do one close to the floor because I do not have enough height on this pole to go into an outside leg, but that's probably a little bit too advanced in this video anyway, so that's fine. So I'm just going to do one single climb. I'm going to push into my forearm pencil, hook the leg, slide down to a showgirl. I'm probably going to end up about the same height as I was when I did it from the floor. So let's have a go. Let's go. Leg, leg, climb. That should be enough height. Pencil, turn. So that quarter turn, hook, leg behind, slide down. And yeah, I'm about the same height as I was before. The other thing you might notice with my showgirl is I'm squeezing my knees together, which we don't normally do in a half star, but this is just how we teach our beginners to engage that leg up. Pole needs to be in your hip crease and bottom hand's in a pistol grip. Leg, hand, kick it off.